The Simple Show explains the carbon footprint. This is you. You've probably been hearing a lot about climate change and how you should reduce your carbon footprint. But what is that exactly? Just like an actual footprint, it's a mark you leave upon the environment. No, not with your shoes, but with every action that releases carbons. Those are the harmful gases, such as CO2, which are pumped out by burning fossil fuels like oil or gas. The more fuel you use, the bigger your footprint will be. You may think that by driving your car, the only carbons you release come from the engine, but no. Consider the carbons that are emitted just to get fuel into the tank. From the energy needed to extract the oil from underground, the pollution caused by transportation and refinement, to the final delivery to your local petrol station. Not to mention the CO2 released by manufacturing your car in the first place. More than you thought, huh? So unless you live in a cave, you and everything you own has its own carbon footprint. Read a book? Printing and distributing. It uses energy. Brush your teeth, and your utensils will have a history in a factory. Even something as basic as an apple could have traveled hundreds or even thousands of polluting miles to end up in your local supermarket. You see, it's pretty much impossible to leave no carbon footprint behind, but that's no reason to stop trying. Think about your actions and choices, and you'll be able to reduce your personal mark after all. That's how you really put the boot into climate change.
So, this video might have given you a fair idea about demystifying carbon footprints. So let's have a slideshow and learn more about this topic.
Wait, does anybody have any questions? Come on.
Carbon footprint is the amount of greenhouse gases such as CO2, methane, water vapor that are released into the atmosphere directly or indirectly by the human activities. It is calculated in equivalent tons of carbon dioxide.
This term was first used by Tom Dodge in his Seattle Times article, Carbon Count, Forests Enlisted in Global Warming War. So let's have an interactive session about your learning after the video.
Can anyone remember what was carbon footprint? What is carbon footprint?
It's the CO2 emissions that we give out during all our activities.
It's not only CO2, it's greenhouse gases, all
of the greenhouse gases.
And can you tell me what are the sources of greenhouse gases? I mean, from where they are emitted?
Like from different industries, or the CFCs produce, like you're using air conditioners or like refrigerators. You're burning garbage and all in the air, so that's producing a lot of carbon dioxide in the air.
And next?
I feel that also the other sources of carbon footprints are the vehicles that they use, actually are a major contribution to the carbon footprint in the environment.
Now, I'm sure this would have a huge impact on the environment. Can you tell what are the effects of it on the environment and on human beings?
Like one of the global warming is there because of the pollution we are having in our surroundings. The vehicles that are producing a lot of smoke and burning things and producing a lot of global warming is there because of that. So that's a great measure for environment that we need to come upon.
But what happens of global warming? What are the effects of global warming?
It's increasing temperature. The temperature of our Earth is now increasing day by day.
So what are the effects of increasing temperature on us?
Diseases are there, skin cancer, etc. Many diseases are there.
I think my friend was trying to say that global warming is leading to the melting of the polar caps, the Antarctica and the Arctic, which is leading to the rise in the sea levels all around the world, which is threatening all the islands in the world like Maldives, Sri Lanka, or even the coastal line of our own country, India, is under a constant threat by the global warming and the rising sea levels. Also, the increasing carbon footprint is leading to pollution, which is affecting the ozone layer and causing many respiratory diseases in us.
Anybody else?
Moreover, all these gases are immensely technical, like the ones who are having respiratory problems. They are constantly at danger because they always breathe, obviously. We have to breathe, but they are constantly at danger that some point, their lungs, some point of their lungs will be filled with these harmful gases and, take a chip anytime.
That's what I said.
As my friend said, the global warming is causing the melting of the ice caps, which is resulting in the increase of water, is also resulting in the increase of water quantity in the sea level and the temperature, which is difficult. It's basically difficult for the aquatic life in the sea to adapt to it, and it is basically affecting our whole ecosystem.
That's true.
It also was floods in the ocean. Now my friend will take over.
So why should we reduce our carbon footprint?
So the carbon footprints that we give out are basically affecting our lives. That will stop the problems, our health problems, and it will stop melting the polar ice caps, which would not lead to more environmental degradation. It can prevent stuff like that.
It is obviously harming the environment, and we are a part of it. It is harming us. So it is quite obvious that we have to reduce carbon footprint because we won't be able to because obviously it is harming us. It is causing diseases, and we won't be able to cope up with everything. We are trying to reduce it, but we need more strict measures.
Yes.
So basically carbon footprint should be reduced to save our environment, the earth. Because if carbon increases, the sea level will increase and people will die. This has caused so much problem for the earth.
So we don't want the negative effects happening, right?
Also that the earth doesn't only belongs to us, it also belongs to the animals also. Our activities are affecting them also equally, and we have no right to harm other persons on this.
Like a survey, in Delhi you have, if in a day in Delhi it's 100 cigarettes you're smoking a day. So how can we reduce our carbon footprints?
At the personal level, I think we can reduce the carbon footprint by using more public vehicles like buses, metros, and to go to nearby places we can walk or cycle there because that have dual benefits. First of all, reduce our carbon footprint. Second, it will help us in it will be a daily exercise for us. It will be healthy for us as well. And well, I feel that by like in the video we saw that a small apple can also be contributing to the carbon footprint. We can buy vegetables and products grown locally. They'll be cheaper. They'll help in the country's economy, and they'll also reduce the carbon footprint.
So do you know that we can measure our carbon footprint? Anybody knows? If yes, then how? Yes.
The carbon footprint measuring test.
Yeah, so there is a specific name for that. It's called life cycle assessment. In this process, we measure the carbon footprints released when we produce something. So, why should we measure our carbon footprint? Yes. Yes.
Well, because I feel that we should measure carbon footprint because we are producing it in the first place. We should know how it is harming the environment and how much quantity it is harming the environment. We are producing it in the first place, so I think we should, it's a right that we must know how much carbon footprint, how much carbon we're producing.
Yes, you.
We should measure it because so that we can reduce the carbon footprint that we're leaving behind because it's not just for us, it's for our future generations as well, and we do need to reduce it for them, not only for us.
That's right. You.
And also because we as humans are, I think, one of the only species that can actually make a change in the carbon emission. So I think it is our duty to actually keep a check on the activities we are doing and see its effects.
Yeah, that's right. So, does anybody know how many types of carbon footprints are there?
So if you heard the video, anything you can do will give you a carbon footprint. But
They can come from both primary and secondary sources. It can be direct and indirect. That steel bottle you have or that plastic bottle you have use manufacturing, right? And that manufacturing gave a carbon footprint, even though it right now is not directly doing anything. So who's gonna say it? Alright, who recycles it? Anything. Even if you keep a small thing in a recyclable bin, or you do it in the Tetra Pak cards that you have there. Newspapers. Does anybody recycle steel cans? No. So we're going to do newspapers, right? The Raddi wala. Now he's just going to calculate your results, which are, I think I'm pretty optimistic about this class. See, now you can see everything that you do will give a carbon footprint. Everything. Going on your phone, writing. Did you write on a recyclable piece of paper or did you write on your school notebooks? The school notebooks. Yeah. The school doesn't use recyclable paper, so you don't have a choice. So you can use maths here as well. You know, it's just basic maths, okay? It's just a relative quantity of how good or how bad you are for the environment. You, the individual. Right? Anybody else wants to say anything about this? Say anything. Covered out here.
If I'm just studying English, just studying it, how am I free from competition? If we just leave the part aside that the transportation.
Are you reading it? Or are you writing?
Reading mostly, yeah.
The lines. Well, consider your book. How many pages does it have in it?
200 or 200.
So that would have required at least 1 to 2 trees, right? That would have required cutting. That would have required environmentation and air degradation. See, that's what I'm saying. It might not seem direct at first, but it's all connected. It's all connected. Anybody else has a doubt? Anybody? Yeah.
If we are using it so.
Oh yeah. Of course. Haven't you heard about lead chalks? Like when you who hits chalks in class? Who likes to throw them at people's heads? Yeah, so that's a good way. Also, you can see this is dust right here. This is chalk. Alright, if I this don't cause pollution. Anybody else? Oh my god. So your average is 2600. That is the actual recommended average is 2300. So I'm disappointed.